Hey out there, you hep cats. Thanks again for joining us today on a very special episode, anniversary episode of the podcast. So, clip those cigars, pour that whiskey, and settle in for a nice long soak in a tub full of Mikey and the Press Pass. I'm your host, David, joined by
Michael,
the master of disaster, the king of sting, the count of Monte Fisto, Mikey.
Thank you. Well, quite an intro there.
Well, you know, I don't get them that often, so I got to do what I can.
I thought we were gonna have like a very special episode where like I'm addicted to uppers. Talk about it.
You have a gun in your locker?
Yeah. Just for protection.
I'm just going to teach everybody a lesson that wronged me. It's bullshit.
It's like a pre-Columbine thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that Full House or was that what was that?
It was Blossom.
The gun?
I think.
Huh.
I think it's Blossom.
Okay. I don't know. I remember. Because I remember the one where...
I think there's an episode of My So-Called Life where he has a gun, too.
Huh.
Brain Krakow or whatever his name is.
I don't remember that show.
You don't remember that show?
Mm-mm.
Oh, man. No, I had such a crush on, what's her tits? Claire Danes.
Mm.
Was into it. No Claire Danes?
Not really.
No, she's super cute.
Yeah. Actually, I saw a commercial with Sarah Michelle Gellar and what's the other dude? They're always in movies together.
Freddie Prinze Jr.?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I couldn't recognize Sarah
Michelle Gellar.
Yeah, I couldn't recognize her. Like, it looked like a totally different person.
I think she had a lot of work done.
No, because it didn't improve anything.
Oh,
She just looks like a normie. She just looks like a normal person.
damn, dude, that's harsh. Well, you look like a normie.
That's fine.
Yeah.
It's not like I was super beautiful at one point, and then I was like, oh, it's kind of just normal now.
Yeah. What are you enjoying this evening for a special anniversary cast?
Oh, thank you. Thanks for asking. I'm enjoying a Padron 1926 40 year.
Ooh, a 40 year.
Mm-hmm.
It's no 45 year, but it's your 46 year.
I kind of like the 40. It's like a nice middle ground for me.
That's because you're going to be 40 soon.
That is true.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, 2 years if that's soon. It's long enough to like...
I'm closer to 40 than I'm 30.
Right, but that's like 2 years is long enough for you to like meet a lady, impregnate that lady, and if she's close to your age, for her to have a miscarriage and for you guys to break up.
That's very specific. Yeah, it's up to the point where you're at the age where like, oh, I remember my 30s. Sure, you just enjoy those years, man.
Hey, they're not over yet.
I know. It was like when Chris like talks about, damn, just turned 24. I was like,
Didn't he just turn 25?
24, 25, I forgot.
I think he turned 25. I think he's a year younger than Diana.
Okay. And I was like, damn, I remember those days.
Yeah, I don't remember being like, damn, I'm 25, though. It was just like, yeah, that's just like a thing that happened.
Huh.
I don't remember. There was a stretch between like 24 and like 29 where I just like didn't even really keep track of how old I was. Like I just didn't even think about it. It was like I'm not 30 yet.
Like, yeah, in my mind I'm like, I'm basically 40, so I just think I'm 40.
My temperament is that of a 40-year-old, so I got that going.
No, like probably like a 55, 60-year-old.
Whatever, man. 55, 60-year-old. You damn kids nowadays don't know what you're talking about.
So what you been up to this week?
A variety of shit. So it's like writing, journalism stuff.
Writing dope rhymes?
No. Well, election season, so local politics too.
Hmm.
So I've been doing some coverage. Covered some candidate forums for a couple of city council candidates. That was interesting. And then I think I poisoned Chris Davis's brain by talking to him at it, and he was like, so now he's like been like, maybe I should get into politics.
That's where it came from?
I could do that. And I was like, you probably could, actually. I could tell you how to do it if you live in Santa Clara.
Uh-huh.
I know the exact path to do it. He was like, word? And I was like, word. Because we were back here talking debate stuff. I just did that this week, too. Getting lesson plans together.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky.
That's not true, though. He totally did.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Well, that's their definition of is.
Depends on what your definition of jizz is.
Whoa.
So I was doing that and debate stuff, and I had some work at Aloni, and then I'm getting all.
Is that like prime time for most writers, like election time, election season, or is it kind of just a steady output?
No, it's usually pretty busy because you're just like council, like just races, political races, and then you also have issues that might be on the ballot. This year, in Santa Clara, there's only one measure. You know, the measures or what else? The propositions if they're statewide. So usually they're measures if they're local, and so then you write about those, and then you write about like sometimes there's a thick field of people. There's a lot of seats up for election, like on the council or something. And there's a lot of candidates for those seats. I remember one year I want to say something like 12 or 13 candidate profiles. God damn it, I forgot again.
Wouldn't be a podcast without that, right?
Fuck. And it's like every time I forget, she fucking like just right when we start, she's keen to like.
I was thinking, I don't know.
Just hey, what's up? What are you doing?
Oh, do you get that still?
No.
Okay, I was like, you should be long over that.
Yeah, we are. It's mostly just random.
Hey, what you doing?
Well, no, see, because there'd be no need for that, because I'm like, I am going down to the cigar shop to smoke cigars and podcast and drink whiskey. So then I come home and be like, how was that?
Just wait till Wednesday. You can just watch what we did.
Pretty much exactly what I said it would be. So that's fun. I feel kind of bad sometimes. My girlfriend's always asking me things about the things that I do and trying to have like conversations with me about it. And I never have any answers. I'm just like, I don't know, dude, it was fine.
And then you like, I had to figure out through the fucking podcast, didn't I? I was like, I just had to keep it close to the vest so I don't have to spoil anything.
She doesn't ask like what I talked about, because usually it's no surprise to her, because most of the stuff is stuff that I kind of bounce off her all week anyway.
Oh, she's like, I saw you do that.
She's like, how did it go? How was D&D? And I'm like, I don't know, dude. Fine. It was fine.
Yeah, like, or girlfriend's like, how was work? I didn't die, so that's pretty good.
It was fine.
That's a win in my column.
I agree. But she talks.
But it's like a full report for most of them. It's like, and then she said this and this and this, and I did this and this and this. I'm like, I don't understand how you could be so busy.
Yeah, I mean, she's not that way. But it's like she talks to me about stuff. She has things to say about things.
Yeah.
I don't. I just listen and like, smile and like. And then so she thinks I don't want to talk to her, and it's like, no, it's not that I don't want to talk to you. It's just like I don't have anything to contribute to this. This like, how was work? Fine, the same as work always is.
Yeah.
Sometimes interesting things happen, and they're not even interesting. It's just like a thing happened that was totally not routine. I'll just tell you about that, and then, you can pretend to care, and I'll feel loved, which I do. So that's good times. But yeah, it's just like I think I get the impression that sometimes like I don't want to talk to her, and that's not the case. I like talking to her. It's just like I'm so boring sometimes. I don't even want to hear myself talk about the things that I do. It's like I do them because I enjoy them, because I'm so fucking boring. It doesn't mean I want to talk about the things I do to not be bored.
Yeah,
that's even more boring, especially to people that aren't.
Or talking about your hobbies. It's like, it's super boring, I know, but it's like, it's my hobby. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, yeah, it's,
So you just go to a place and you just smoke on a cigar? Yeah, and sometimes I talk to people too. What?
Who are these people?
Yeah. So you just smoke it, and just for the flavor. Like, yeah.
Why else would you smoke it?
Get high or something?
Oh, yeah, I'm trying to get fucked up.
Trying to get fucked up, bro.
Well, I guess we actually finished a D&D adventure this week, or last week, I guess. Sometime between now and the last podcast.
Was that the first finish one?
Yeah, you did. Conclusion, we went through the downtime activities. Hadn't done that before.
Yeah.
So that took an exorbitantly long amount of time because...
Well, we gone through the small adventure, or like the mini adventures, right?
Yeah, those are quests.
Oh, okay.
Those are part of the overarching adventure. The adventure has like a culmination of usually like some end bad guy or some plot resolution that segues into another adventure. And this is the first one of those that we've completed. I think it helped that it was not as long of an adventure, so that probably made it easier-ish. Wasn't constantly amping up the stakes, which is a problem we ran into last time.
So yeah. No, I think you guys should try to beat that dragon.
Yeah, you can just keep blaming me for that. You guys were getting a little big for your britches.
Hey, I wanted to go in town and get supplies. He's like, no, I think you really should go and get some stuff.
And that would have helped how?
I don't know. Give us some time. Shit.
Time to what?
Oh, do stuff.
Not going to get more powerful in that time.
I really wanted to use that abacus.
That's a dig at Chris, I take it.
Huh? What are you talking about?
I need abacus.
Kitchen sink.
I need 10,000 ball bearings. It's like, all right, man.
I need those finger traps.
Yeah.
Especially the pinky ones.
Yeah. Finger trap always reminds me of the episode of Rocko's Modern Life where he gets the finger trap at the fair.
I do remember that episode. I just don't remember the details.
It's like the carnival games or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like convinced that it's a ripoff.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually he does win and they give him a finger trap.
Yeah.
And he's like, I guess it's not rigged. And then he like walks away and the finger trap breaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
Yeah. It's like one of the only episodes I actually remember of that show.
I've been just working. That's about it. And I think I ran through the gamut of types of customers today. Like, you got one end, the dude that's super fucking hyped to be there. Like, this is the best thing in the world.
It's got like all this energy.
Yeah, it's like, all right, yeah, okay, whoa, hey. Like, it's like unexpected. It's like, whoa, hey, whoa, calm down, buddy.
Yeah.
It's like Kenyan John. Like, yeah, man, cigar, this is life.
This is my life's blood, brother. It's like, damn.
He was in the board. This guy that came in, new customer, he said he just found us on Google. And he was just super hyped to be there. Like, oh my God, you got this? You got Gurkhas?
You guys
oh
got
my
cigars?
God.
Fuck yeah.
Hey, man, if I call DoorDash, will they deliver here? I'm like, yeah, they do all the time. Oh, yeah, right. This is the best place ever. I was like, whoa, calm. Yeah, basically. And then some of the worst customers, like, to deal with, where they just eat up your time and don't buy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this guy came in, 2 Vietnamese dudes, a little bit of broken English, but enough to get by. And like, I had to be super direct. And they just couldn't fucking get it. I'm like, all right, guys, what are you guys looking for? Looking for some cigars? Need some just suggestions or anything like that? Yeah, I'm just looking around. I'm like, okay, cool. Is this strong? Yeah. How about this one? Oh, no, that's medium. Is this strong? And I go, guys, so, okay, you want a strong cigar and what price?
Yeah.
And they just stare at me and look at other cigars. And what's the price for this? And I'm like, all right, I'll bring up the price. Like, and I told him, I was like, this is not a strong cigar.
It's not strong.
Yeah. And then, and he's like, just give me the price. All right. Tell him the price. For one cigar? Yes, one cigar. Ah, man. So, and he looked at the Laura Preferitos.
Yeah.
34 for a whole box? No, just one cigar. Okay. I get buy one get one free, right? I'm like, no. I just laughed in his face. No, you're not. Oh,
Buy one get
it's
one
like
free.
what the fuck? And he's like trying to haggle me the whole time. I was like, no, you're not gonna get. It's like, oh, the last time you say you buy 3, I get 2 free. And I'm like, I never said that. I would never say that.
Not unless it was an event or something.
Yeah, and like the whole like get 10 sticks, 10%, 20 sticks, 20%. It's like, how about 40% for 20? I'm like, no, go away. Okay. I gotta think about it. I'll go outside. I'll come back later. Okay. It's like, oh, never gonna see you again. Bye.
Well, the trick I learned from Chris Davis was you just don't tell those people they get a price break at 10 and 20.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they buy a lot,
Mm-hmm.
then you just be like, you know what? Like, yeah, I can, you know what? How's 10%? And then they're like happy because they're getting a deal.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
but they
okay.
didn't like if they just try to get extra on top of, but if you just like, don't tell them they get a price break
Uh-huh.
and then wait for them to ask for the discount and then just be like, I could do 10% off. And they'll be like, yeah. It's like normal transaction. So yeah, that's
Have you run into any of people that were like their spouse is a cop or works for EMT and they're buying them cigars for them? how
The
like
spouse.
they're how much a pain in the ass they are. It's like, well, my husband is an EMT. I think you can do better than 20%. I'm like, no, I can't. Sorry.
Is he a cop? What's an EMT?
The ambulance people.
No, I know what they are.
Okay.
Just-
EMT.
Oh, right.
That's not like ICE?
Service industry. Or service job. What does they call it? Public service.
Public service.
Yeah. The word that they invented to include EMTs because everyone just thinks firefighters and cops.
They save lives too.
False. They do not. Actually kill more people than they save.
Actually, they're trying to take you away. Just run away.
I remember somebody had me fucking... Somebody tried to tell me one time that they weren't a fucking organ donor because, like, EMTs would, like, basically just let you die.
Yeah.
So they could sell your organs. And I was like, dude, that's not a fucking thing. And they were like, yeah, it is. And then I was like, no, it's not. And they're like, yeah, you're probably right. Like, they just totally crumbled after I was just like, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about.
That might be a Jim Gaffigan joke. It's like, my brother does need a kidney. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it has happened, but it's not some, like, widespread, like, well, they haven't... They acted like it was some sort of, like...
Big organ's gonna fucking take your...
Yeah, pretty much.
Take
And I
your
was
shit
like,
away.
shut the fuck up. What you're fucking talking about. Give your organs to other people. And anyway, like,
What are you
shut
gonna
up.
do with it?
Yeah.
No, I want them
I'm not
when I
using-
die.
No. I want more organs than I have. I don't want them taken away. I want to be like Zim in that episode of Invaders. It was a big
like a fat
bloated thing
fuck.
of organs. Like, extra organs. That's what I want.
So you been watching anything lately?
Not really. Not really anything. I watched that stupid British baking show with my old lady, and then we started watching
Ooh,
Top
my-
Chef
Oh.
because of that.
Oh
So
my!
we're watching Top
What
Chef.
a lovely sponge.
Well, it was funny because we're watching it,
They're just
The-
nice to everybody.
the British baking show, and
Mhm.
she's just like, wow, it's like these people are so neurotic that they make me look like I'm like not like I'm a carefree gal.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because the people are so neurotic because the judges will just say something like, "Oh, it's stodgy, isn't it?" And they'll be like, "Oh," like that's it. It's like
Dun dun dun.
And so we're watching it. She's like, "Oh, that was kind of mean, actually." And I was like, "Oh, we got to watch some Top Chef because Top Chef is like 100 more times brutal
It's
than
fucking raw.
that." No, it's not that bad. But
Wow.
it's not like Gordon Ramsay level shit, but it's definitely more of a competition. And that was the funny thing is she was telling me this the other night. She was like, "Oh, so I was looking into like what they get if they win the British Bake Off show or whatever."
Yeah.
You know what they get?
I don't know.
Nothing.
Oh, really?
They get nothing.
Huh. That's interesting.
Does interesting mean stupid? And yeah.
Well, I've never
it's
seen a show that's like, good job.
And
Uh-oh.
no, and they're all happy. They're like, "Yeah, I'm happy."
I guess you get some clout though. It's like, that dude can bake. Look at that dude. He can bake. Let me tell
Yeah.
you something. I saw him on TV.
I mean, sure.
This dude could bake.
Yeah, I guess that's cool.
Uh-huh.
But like, I don't know. All the money they make off that fucking show, Netflix and whoever else.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck that. You better pay me if
Uh-huh.
I win.
Well, I remember when they're first showing the Ninja Warrior.
Yeah.
Like the whole concept in the beginning, like when they first showed it on TV, that it was very foreign to Americans. That like, yeah, some people don't make it through all the obstacles and no one wins. What do you mean? Like no one wins. Like you have to be the best to get to the last
Right.
obstacle.
You're not competing against the other competitors per se. You're mostly competing against the obstacle course, which is brutally hard.
Yeah. And they're going, well, that's bullshit.
So they make it easier.
no, they just
That's good.
Yeah.
Because that's
well, sometimes at the beginning stages, they have to like kind of mess around with it. Sometimes like some of the obstacles are way too fucking hard. Like people won't get past like the first round. They're like, too hard, I guess.
because it's is it Japanese? Is that the
Yeah.
show originally Japanese?
Mhm.
Do they change the Because I would imagine if you just took an obstacle course that's made for athletic Asians who are nimbler and leaner,
Mm-hmm.
but not as strong, there are certain things that, it's like that whole pull-up thing. The reason, like, I'm not stronger than you just because I can do more pull-ups than you.
Mm-hmm.
It's just my body is more designed to doing pull-ups.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with that, right? Like, you see some of those guys on there, like, very fit and, like, they're muscular, way more muscular than the Asian dudes.
Mm-hmm.
So do they change the course, or is it the same one they have in Japan?
For the Japanese ones, they don't change the course. Like they'll get like.
But I mean, when they have it in America, is it different than the Japanese course?
I imagine they change it up for the Americans, because like they're bigger, so they have to have like
things that are more strength based and
Yeah,
not
they're-
agility based.
yeah. As far as I can see, like the third ops or the third or second one, like it's for all mainly like hand strength.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen too much of that course in the American version. It's like super intense. It's like you gotta like how do I explain this? It's like a little ledge and you're just gripping onto it and you're changing levels and you gotta jump towards another ledge. And it's like notoriously like for like 2 years no one could make that one obstacle. They're just beating everybody up.
Huh.
And just left is like it's too hard.
Yeah, because I always think of like the beginning. I think it's the very beginning of the course, or at least early in the course, where you have to like springboard up and like catch yourself.
Yeah.
On the thing. It seems like if you're a skinny Asian guy who's somewhat athletic, that's much easier for you than if you're like some yoked out like football player built looking black dude.
Yeah.
Because you have like, a wingspan and it's easier to hold your body up. It's more of a test of balance and strength.
I imagine they have they could adjust it. It seems like they could adjust it because they have like women do it, like little tiny gymnasts.
Yeah. And it seems like they would be better at doing that than somebody who is like muscular.
Yeah, it depends. Yeah. If
So-
they have the skill set, they've been practicing on the course, so not just going on based on pure athleticism. Like there is skill involved.
I feel like I could just do it without even trying that hard, really.
How about you throw this football over these mountains?
Use some football these mountains.
What the? Well, okay. What happened? Continue watching more of Raised by Wolves. That's a fucking awesome show. It's just like a lot of twists and turns. It's like It's like you think it's one thing, elements to it.
Yeah, I noticed they dropped fucking like last week. It was like there's 2 new episodes this week.
I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, there's like fuck y'all. Like just get a little bit. I would drop 2 new. Get in it.
I know. It's
Maybe they just already like decided we're doing like 5 seasons of this show, and they're just trying to get people just like hooked on it like in the first season.
Yeah. I don't know what they're doing with that show, but yeah, it's been good. And actually finished an episode of Red Scare
Oh,
podcast.
what was the episode on?
I don't know because it's hard to in the beginning because I'm not used to listening to that type of podcast. It's like very free form. Like they don't even do an intro. I can't tell who's who because they don't say each other's names. And there's like no format, so it's just like a free form conversation. So
Yeah, but you can definitely tell that they're like trying to talk about certain things.
yeah, they do, but they just kind of just stumble upon it. I find it interesting just because that's that it seems like a format that would happen early on in podcasting where just put down a mic and just fucking talk.
What was the title of the episode? Do you know?
Let me look up.
Because usually like the episodes
Well,
are titled.
they basically just like railed on like feminist, woke culture, and like leftists.
They do that like every episode.
Yeah,
though.
that's what I figured. That's
Yeah.
what the Red Scare. That the whole thing. So, and after listening to it, I was like, is Press Pass trying to make this show into that? Because I remember last week, like, you should have a segment on woke culture. It's called like This Week in Woke Culture or something.
I've actually only ever heard like 2 or maybe 3 episodes of
Oh,
that
yeah.
show, and I haven't listened to it recently at all.
Berkeley Brain. I don't know, I guess there's somebody
I don't
wrote an
know.
article in Berkeley and we talk about the
Yeah.
person. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Diana supports them on Patreon, so
Oh, okay.
I could listen to all of them if I wanted to. My uncle supports them on Patreon too,
Huh.
but like I just
Fucking broads.
I can't even be bothered to listen to our podcast after that.
I did listen to a lot of it in the beginning just to see what could change. I was like, I don't really care.
Actually, this week was probably the first week, and probably since we started doing it, that I didn't listen to at least most of it.
Who was on? Was that Beto? Oh, no, that was the other one.
Yeah, last week was where I was making fun of my old lady for not doing the social media thing, and then like the next day, before she ever even heard the podcast, she gave me the social media tips. So yeah, sorry, Bo. Sorry, you're so good. She's so good. She's like, I did forget for a while. I was like, yeah, I know.
Huh?
She's like, I did forget for a while. I'm like, yeah, I know. You don't have to tell me that. It's like 6 months ago or some shit I asked you.
Oh, really?
No, it wasn't that long ago. But normally if I ask her for a favor, she's pretty on top of it.
Oh.
So I was like, okay, she just forgot. Other cookies to bake and shit, or whatever it is she does. Baking a lot of stuff. My mom's coming to town tomorrow.
Ooh, your ma?
My ma.
Your ma.
Yeah. I haven't seen it. I'm just gonna get my ma.
Ooh.
Ha.
You haven't seen her in a while, huh?
Like, probably a decade.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But you do talk to her a lot. Or you talk to her on the phone.
Occasionally.
Oh.
I wouldn't say a lot, maybe once every few months.
Huh.
For 20, 25 minutes, and then sometimes she'll just text me little emojis. She doesn't know how to emoji very well, so she's just like, I don't know, I didn't know how to emoji this thing. And I'm like, okay, yeah, well, that gets the point across, I guess. So yeah,
Or it's that famous meme is like, Grandma died, LOL. I was like, Mom, what are you doing? What? What do you mean, what? It's like, laugh out loud. It's like, oh my god, I thought it meant lots of love.
Yeah, lots of love. That's in the newsroom.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Somebody dies, and this intern is in charge of sending flowers, and she sends the flowers, and then the card says, with our warmest regards, LOL. And then he's like, what the fuck? Why did you say LOL? It's like, I thought I meant lots of love.
My favorite one recently is, I just told my pastor, like, WAP means, like, worship and pray. So I can send out mass text. Don't forget to WAP.
Yeah, like one of the Red Scare girls did one of those things where it's like, see if I can find it. Are your kids texting about communism? Did you see that?
No.
Oh man,
I don't follow them.
Let's see if I can find it. Quick.
Press passes searching for memes.
Searching the web. Okay, is your child texting about anarcho-communism? BRB equals better redistribute bread. LOL, let's overthrow landlords. SMH, seize means of production, hurry. TBH, take back housing. STFU, support the factory union.
Wow.
TFW, tyranny-free workplaces. ROFL, revolutions on for later. IDC, International Democratic Confederalism. BTW, bourgeois trample workers.
Wow.
There's like a whole series of like things like, things like that are like funny internet things, but that one popped up in I think one of the Red Scare ladies posted it. So yeah, sounds right.
Cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of podcasts, this podcast.
What about it?
52 of them.
52.
We've been doing 52
Mm-hmm.
once a week, so that makes 1 year.
It does. This actually seems, I don't know if it's to the day, but it's to the podcast, but it's pretty close to the day because it was
close.
early October
Mm-hmm.
when we first started doing it. So yeah.
Or at least to the launch of the first, on the internet podcast.
Yeah.
Because I think like late September we started recording. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We recorded a few episodes before we posted. Should run a contest or something. Anybody that tell us something we listen, for those of you that fucking listen to the first podcast, something.
Yeah, a lot of you, but apparently a lot of you just didn't
Both
listen
of you.
after. Yeah.
Both of you. Thank you both.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks, both of you.
Yeah.
Matt and Diana.
Uh-huh.
You're the real winners.
They are.
Yeah.
Giving some knowledge some jewels for you to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
And it was an interesting thing because, like, I didn't know if, for me, I didn't know if I wanted to start, like, a reg ass podcast from the get. I thought it would have been better to just, like, have a format, have, like, Sopranos.
yeah.
I've never seen it. You've seen all of it. Would make for an interesting thing. And it got a little hard because we tried to do one episode per episode.
Yeah, I just think there's not a lot, like, without ruining it for people, there's just not a lot to talk about, and all the feedback we got where people were like, oh, yeah, I like the regular one. Like, when we first started doing those, like, I like that one more than the other Soprano stuff. It's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But then that makes it difficult to tap into a demographic of people.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you know, we're just people that like stuff.
Yeah.
That's our demographic.
Uh-huh.
People that like things. They're like,
Or
like-
rail on stuff.
like when I rail about stuff. So that is, well, I don't have anyone to debate. It's like, so I just have to rail about shit. Can't just, you know.
We should just have not me or someone, just debate somebody.
Like who?
I don't know. Chris Davis.
Sure.
I could sharpen their skills.
That's like saying your fighting skills would get better if you were to fight a retard. Oh, damn.
Whoa. I'm about to clip that out, bro. I want to set it up like a Charlie Rose thing. Like have like black background and two over there. I'm like the moderator.
Yeah.
Speaking of debates, that whole meme. I didn't see the debates.
Join the club.
But the internet is undefeated, so they did splice in Joe Biden rapping like to the last Battle of the 8 Mile.
Yeah.
That thing was it was so fucking good.
It was Chef Kiss.
Yeah, I watched that thing like 5 times.
It was pretty good.
It's just the whole like
Yeah.
I'll put it here because I can.
You will not.
There we go.
All right.
Down me again, son. See what happens.
So you watch more of Raised by Wolves? How far are you?
5 or 6 episodes, I think. I don't remember. I just pressed play.
That's a album or something, isn't it? Just press play.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I'm gonna watch it probably eventually. I want to get through Perry Mason first, and then I want to.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised you kept on watching it because it didn't seem like you were too into it in the beginning.
I mean, I wasn't. I mean, it was fine.
Mhm.
I was like, yeah, it was fine. And then I just went back to it, and then I watched a few more episodes and took another break. Kind of waiting for The Vow to be over too, so like get through that.
Yeah, I'm like 3 episodes behind.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all right.
HBO's on fire, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that show fire. It's all
No,
right.
but like content-wise, like all the stuff that they're... Do they even release that much stuff during the year? Or is it just because HBO Max is in effect and they're just creating more content?
A larger percent of their content is good, but they still, I mean, you saw like, I don't know, Lovecraft Country.
Not ever seen it.
It doesn't look like it's very good.
I've been hearing varied opinions on that. People love it, or it's like, it's alright.
It looks pretty bad. Looks pretty woke.
You haven't even seen it?
Well, no, I just read some stuff about it, and I saw the trailers and the fucking reviews of it. And a couple of other things that I saw, like that one that I even fucking tell what it was about. We saw a trailer for it, like kept seeing trailers for it when Westworld was on, and I was like, "What is this
the
show?"
Nazi show.
No, not that show.
Oh.
You're talking about, that's Man in the High Castle. No, that's
No.
that's Prime. No, it was like just some chick on a train. Like she meets some. It's got the dude from fucking from Ex Machina in it.
Oh, General Hux.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always forget that actor's name.
Yeah.
Dominic something.
I don't know. The Ginger.
Yeah, that dude.
Yeah.
It's like
Because
him and-
I don't know if it's like a rom-com or like some sort of spy thing.
I don't either.
I don't know.
But it doesn't look good.
Hmm.
Because it can't look good. If I don't know what it's about, it can't look good.
I don't know.
I had a dream about a meme.
Okay.
Like, in the dream, I was on the internet,
Uh-huh. and
I saw this meme,
Uh-huh.
and I woke up laughing. And was like, somebody should make that meme.
So that should have been you then.
I don't know how to make memes. But no, it was like, so it was like the Dune trailer on one side,
Uh-huh.
and it has that part where he's like, if you take your hand out of the box, you die.
Uh-huh.
And he just goes, what's in the box? And on the other side, it's got Mr. T's face. And it's like, pain! Like from fucking Rocky 3. And for some reason, I just woke up. I was like, damn, that's funny.
You could make that meme. I don't know why you couldn't.
I don't know, just because I don't know how to do that.
You're not a meme machine.
I don't know how to meme. Doesn't that require like Illustrator and Photoshop skills and shit?
Not really.
Okay.
All right, I make memes.
Well, okay. It's a verbal meme then. I just told you what the crux of the visual joke was. Now you get it, and I thought it was just like dream a meme. I dream of memes.
Dream of memes. What grinds your gears? Ah, damn it! Now I got all these bumpers. I fucking forget to use it.
You know
That
what
grinds my gears.
Hey, you just fizzled it out. I had something. Fuck. I don't. What about you? Maybe it'll come back to me. I'm a little tired tonight, guys.
Well, that whole customer thing, just the worst of the worst.
The worst of the worst.
No, they're not the worst. They're just difficult to work with.
That's why I gotta write shit down. No, I'll tell you what's underrated though. Totally separate segment. But you ever drive somewhere and you're listening to a song or like an album or something, and the track that you are listening to ends right when you like end your destination?
That's pretty good.
That's pretty baller.
Yeah.
I might have said that was underrated before,
Uh-huh.
but I have it again today, and I was like, it was pretty good. Like right when I'm pulling up, it's like, wow, it's like good stuff. Good stuff.
Oh, another thing that grinds my gears is that whole... Similar to that story you had with the dude in the grocery store. It was off podcast, I think, right?
Oh, right, yesterday?
Yeah.
I told that guy to fucking hurry up, and he flipped out on me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
Well, I was at the dollar store getting stuff, and these ladies is like, oh, we need balloons. And like, fucking kill me. There's like a long ass line, and they only had one fucking, at the time, only had one register open. I'm like, does anybody else work here that could use, like, you have 4 of these registers?
And the person in front of you always has to look like the fucking cat lady from The Simpsons or some shit, right?
It was 2 of them too.
Yeah.
And it was the whole thing is like, okay, cool. Oh my god, can you do that one too? And this one too that says happy birthday, son. You fucking, like, we're standing in line the whole time. The balloons are up there. They're displayed, so you can just easily go, knock them out of the park, really easy.
Nah.
No, they don't work that way.
Nope. Yep. It's always yeah. It's either cat lady from Simpsons or their fucking what's her name from Futurama. Like that's always who's ahead of you in the dollar store.
Or they look like that mole man.
Yeah, Hans Mole Man.
Yeah.
It's same thing. It was just to bring listeners up to speed. I lost my shit on some fucking guy at Safeway, which I felt bad about after the fact because I could have just.
No, you shouldn't.
I could have. Well, the thing is,
Fuck that guy.
I could have been snarky to him without like. I didn't say something like, hey man, why don't you just take all the fucking time you need or whatever. It's not like there are people waiting on you. Right? I could have said something like that.
Yeah.
But instead,
Hey, fuck you, pal.
no, literally what I was just like, can you hurry the fuck up, please? like that.
Yeah.
Like that's, I don't even think I said please at the end. I was just like, can you hurry the fuck up? Like really loud and like aggressively. Probably not great. But yeah, he was just like 5 different fucking transactions. He's just like this just big, fat, slovenly like guy. It's just like socks and sandals, like short. It's like, dude, are you fucking kidding me? Like, let me get some of this. It's like you have nothing else to do than fucking hang out in Safeway. I get that impression from some people. They just hang out. Usually it's convenience stores. You ever notice that? People hang out in fucking 7-Eleven or like, you guys don't really have quick stops here, do you? What's the equivalent of a 7-Eleven?
7-Eleven?
Yeah, AM, PM.
Yeah,
I guess
AM,
they have
PM,
those.
yeah.
Then people just like hang out in them.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Fucking hang out front. Like hang out, smoke cigarettes, fucking like play music and
Or
shit.
the scratcher people. Like, they get the scratcher and they scratch it right in front of the register. Like, dude, just go to the side. There's people
I wanna
buying
see
shit.
if I win. Yeah, this guy's got he got like 4 different types of lotto tickets.
Yeah, usually when that happens, like, okay, this is gonna be bad.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it was.
I believe that's like a good a sign of mental illness.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's very clear to me when I see people do that. Let me get this one. Let me get this one. Let me get this one, and that one too, and give me this, and then just scratch away. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
I think people that buy that many lottery tickets or play lotto that frequently, sorry, Grandma, are fucking just. There's just something
Sorry,
not right.
Ma.
It's just like a sad thing that people do.
Mm-hmm.
It's a vice. It's like drinking.
Yeah.
There's a reason you don't ever see like affluent put together people buying like $40 in lotto tickets. Right?
It's a small time rush. It's not like you're like sports gambling or fucking blackjack or anything like that. Like the thrill is like you can taste it, right?
I mean,
It's
I get like, so my mom.
But the whole scratcher thing is like, it's like so. Where's the thrill in that?
My mom gets scratchers every now and again. She gets the bingo scratchers, and it's basically just something to do, right? It's like doing a crossword or something. And so I kind of get that a little bit, but like people just come in and they buy like, I mean, seriously, like I've seen people buy $30, $40 in fucking scratch-off tickets.
Yeah.
And it's like, those people have pushed the scratcher market to new levels, man. They got $20 scratch-off tickets now.
So fucking crazy.
Have you seen these?
No, I haven't seen.
Because there's like, I was like a scratcher was like $1, right? Like maybe they have the $2 ones. Now they have $20 scratch-off tickets. It's like you gotta
they'll buy them.
Yeah, it's like you gotta be fucking kidding me. And it's like as big as a fucking whiteboard, man. It's like
really?
this big. They're big. They're like this big.
Huh.
It's like this fucking huge, like super involved thing. Because I guess they gotta. How do you? You gotta do like physics equations and shit to figure out what you need to scratch and like.
You had to do trig or something like that.
Just like because it has to be involved. Because if you can like, if it's just like a scratch 1, 2, 3, like it is on a dollar ticket. And you just fucking blow your load real quick, right?
Can't you just like buy the tickets, like scan it to see if it won? Isn't that the same thing? Because they do have to scan it. They don't have to proofread. Oh, let me try this one. Yeah, you missed that one. Sorry, you can't do.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think they can do that.
Yeah, they do that. They just scan. Oh, not a winner. Oh, but look at it. It's like it didn't say you won.
Then I wonder how, like, if you work there, what's to stop you from just like scanning all of them to see which ones are the winners?
I think the process of you buying it like activates it. It's like a gift card. You can't just steal a whole bunch of gift cards and just like use them. They have to be activated.
But what you could do is sit there and just purchase one and like scan it and purchase one and scan it until you get to the one that wins, and then it would just pay you back for all of them.
Yeah.
Because you know that there's going to be a winner in that roll somewhere.
Yeah.
You just keep doubling down.
I don't know.
I don't get the whole fucking scratcher mentality.
I don't get it either.
I don't get lotto in general. It's just a giant fucking scam. Like it's just a huge scam. And the irony is that the people that are on Social Security, which is also a big scam, are more likely to buy lotto tickets, which is basically the same fucking scam.
It's paying for education, bro.
False. It is not.
No, it's not.
Several studies of like that money, like where it's supposed to go, going where it's supposed to go, just like never does. Like especially in California.
It's a big money pit, basically.
Goes toward education. That's what property taxes are for. Property taxes go to education. Largely, like 40% of property taxes go to education.
Mm-hmm.
And they need lotto too. Need lotto too.
I don't.
Fucking unions, bro. I'm telling you.
Let me tell you, my friend.
Let me tell you, my friend. We got a guy on the inside. He's gonna make things happen. He's gonna get you 2 no-shows and 2 no-works.
Yeah, I did get to that episode when Paulie came back.
Yeah.
It's like, you griping me now? Gave you some cash, gave you no show, and all this stuff. You asked me for this.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Let's see. I got.
Here Space goes with something to think about.
Do the shits push out the farts or the farts push out the shits?
The latter.
Ooh, cool. That's all I have to think. Actually, it's not.
What?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter?
That doesn't matter. It just happens.
What do you mean it happens?
Like, it doesn't push out. It doesn't physically push the shit out. Or the shits push out the farts. It just bubbles up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it's closer to the latter than the former.
The shit's pushing the farts out.
No, the fart. So the reason you fart is because your bowel is breaking.
Loosening up. Like,
It's using enzymes, and that the reason there's a byproduct in gas, and that gas is supposed to help you expel the waste.
Mhm.
So it's not really, that's not why the gas happens, but it's closer than the other way around. Like, it does help. Like,
So the shits push out the farts.
no.
The farts push out the shit.
You fart because you're making shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Well, it's like the bacteria in your body's making that.
Right, it's making it.
Yeah.
And so, if you're farting a lot, it's probably an indicator you need to take a dump. Or
you ate really gaseous stuff.
Gaseous? Gaseous?
Gaseous.
Ga-
I don't know.
gaseous. There's no H. Gaseous.
Gaseous.
Gaseous. Right? Gaseous. Gaseous? I don't know which is right.
I don't know.
Gaseous sounds weird. But yeah, no, that's just like, that's what happens. So it's like, you know, helping you. It's like, it's making it.
Mhm.
It's like the really worrisome ones is when you fart and you don't hear it. It's like, but it's you, so you know it's like, it's not like, and you just know it's going to be really bad.
Yeah.
You just got to get away from.
Or you feel like a hot one coming out. It's like, ooh, it's hot.
Yeah.
You could feel like it's. You could tell in the beginning.
Yeah.
It's like it's hot.
Yeah.
It's like brown snakes coming out my body.
Get the poison out. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the worst one for me is like if I have like a lot of, or just like a packet. If I use the whole packet of ranch from Jack in the Box for like curly fries or
They come in packets?
a little box.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if I use too much of it, it's like, ooh,
Oh, yeah, you
man,
told
I
me
gotta
that.
get the guts. It's bad.
Just don't have it enough. Gotta have it more.
Huh?
That's the solution.
I just have enough.
Now, if you ate more of it, it wouldn't do that to you.
Yeah, it makes sense, but
Because don't you like, if you don't eat fast food for a really long time, it doesn't give you the fucking runs. But people that are just like big, fat, disgusting assholes, like they just don't, it doesn't bother me at all. It's like because you fucking eat it every day, so your body is used to like processing that.
yeah, if I go on vacation for like a week or something like that, and I have like fast food, like, ooh, it's hot, really hot. You
Yeah.
can feel your gut getting hot.
Yeah, it used to be that way with McDonald's breakfast for me. A fucking egg
Oh,
McMuffin. I love egg
yeah,
McMuffin,
yeah.
and it's just like.
It smells like the
Yeah.
fucking sausages.
Yeah.
It's like, ugh. It's brewing,
Egg.
baby.
Just eggs and sausage, yeah. Just like, but not in a good way. It's like, ooh, yuck. It's like the fucking most horrible stench ever. Mickey D's, fucking SBDs. Hey, that could be a band.
Trying to think what other stuff we got going on.
Oh, Tampa Bay won the cup.
Florida.
Not Florida, Tampa Bay.
Florida.
No, Tampa Bay.
State of Florida.
the
won a cup.
state of Florida, no, just that one team.
Yeah.
So they did win. It took them an extra game than I thought it would, but they won, and that was cool, I guess, for all the people that live in Florida. And the sad thing is I bet you nobody in Florida really gives a shit that much. They're like, boo, the Heat aren't doing that well.
It's such an odd state to have hockey.
Sure.
And they have two of them.
They have two.
So weird.
But there's also hockey in Arizona. The fuck does that work?
Yeah, I think places with a lot of transplants, they usually get a hockey team like San Jose. Why would San Jose have a hockey team?
Yeah, but Tampa Bay has a ton of fucking transplants. It's like all
That's what I'm saying.
military
That's why-
people in that
Yeah,
area.
that's why they get hockey.
So yeah, I don't know. It's super weird, but I bet you nobody there really cares that much. It's like, yeah, the Heat are losing to the Lakers. Fucking, when are the Dolphins gonna get a draft pick? Fucking stupid.
I tried watching more. Here, what grinds my gears. Like, now, since I have like I don't watch anything. Basically, I'm just working all the time, and when I'm here, fucking football is ruining my fucking watch time. I can't watch anything anymore. Just watch fucking football.
Yeah, that's what grinds my gears. Fucking football. I hate football.
Football
Fuckers.
turns people to animals. It's like, football!
Yeah.
It's like Alex Jones ran.
It's like an Alex Jones rant.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly what it's fucking like. It's like just. And the thing
Hey
is
guys, you gotta wear your mask and stay 6 feet apart. Oh my god, football!
yeah. Don't care. I'm sitting inside now.
Yeah.
No, what I don't get.
Just like everything just goes away. It's like I need to watch my football.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand about fucking. So, I think that's what the most obnoxious thing about sports is that, like, they prove that the people that if you watch people that like football in particular, you would think that they're just fucking knuckle dragging Cro-Magnons, right? They're just fucking idiots. But just that's while it's happening. It's like it's such a high dopamine activity for people that if you just take it away for like 3 days, people will just start talking about things that are just like,
did you see what he did when he?
yeah, and then they all become fucking
Experts.
football scholars, right? And here's the thing, man: is like they don't understand they got to build that from the front office,
Yeah.
and it makes some
Oh,
good
you
decisions.
a GM now?
Right? Yeah, and they all like get like super deep cut opinions, but you're like, hey, what was the last book you read? And like, I don't fucking read books. What are you talking about?
What?
Right? Hey, did you happen to you try to talk to them about fucking philosophy or something? And they're like, you're fucking smart, man. It's like,
Did
no,
John Madden say that?
yeah, yeah, it was John Madden, right? It's like that's my favorite. My favorite philosophy thing that got co-opted.
What?
With great power comes great responsibility,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's like everyone just said that. That's Voltaire, FYI, for people that don't know Voltaire.
Well, it's not Uncle Ben.
Voltaire said that.
No, it's not
And
Uncle Ben.
it's like it's people
It's in a movie.
People think you're making like a Spider-Man reference if you ever say that. It's like whatever, never mind.
Is it the same guy who did like Absolute Power Groups Absolutely? Is that Voltaire?
Yeah, Voltaire.
Yeah.
Candide, Voltaire. Yeah.
He's no Voltron.
He's
but-
no Voltron. Watch Voltron. I bet you it doesn't hold up. I bet you it's like Thundercats. Like if you're like remember liking it when you were a kid, and you go back and watch it, like this is fucking stupid. Like,
Probably.
yeah.
Actually, I found out that there's a YouTube channel where they play 24/7 old G.I. Joe from the 80s.
Yeah, I'm not into that. I don't really care.
Actually,
If it were Chuck Norris Karate Commando, I might be in. But like,
fucking forgot. They showed this in the YouTube video. They're doing like martial arts stunt stuff, and they're talking about this movie, No Defeat, No Surrender, or something like that. It's like Van Damme's very first movie.
yeah, he plays a bad guy.
And the whole thing of just having Van Damme's like, okay, that's interesting. Then like the ghost of Bruce Lee teaches his kid how to do karate or
Yeah.
kickbox, and I saw it. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, I saw that movie.
Yeah.
Like, cause I was big into Van Damme when I was a kid.
Uh huh.
It's like,
That's a deep cut. I don't even remember that one.
Yeah, it was like we had it on VHS.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it's Van Damme. He's a bad guy.
Yeah.
Oh my god. This is before they knew that he was a good guy and everything.
Yeah.
He must have had an alignment shift at some point. But yeah, it's a fucking really stupid movie. It's just because it was like I don't even remember who the good guy is in it. I can't really remember.
I don't know. Some nobody.
Yeah. But yeah,
I guess the plot goes like this guy, him and his dad run a karate school, and then Van Damme comes in and kicks his ass, and he has to like defend his father's like honor, and he gets beat up too.
Mm-hmm.
And he wants to quit karate, and then Bruce Lee comes out of nowhere.
Yeah. Well, who can beat Van Damme if not Bruce Lee? I mean, like,
Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris probably could. Chuck Norris probably beat up just about anybody.
Yeah, because that dude was a legit martial artist.
Oh, Van Damme could do the splits so good. He must be legit.
Keep on doing that, buddy. You'll never have kids.
Yeah. Hey, you might want to cut that out, man. You might want to have kids one of these days. Yeah. I don't really know anything about the legitimacy of Jean-Claude Van Damme's martial arts prowess.
I don't know. I don't know if he was like a competitive kickboxer. Or...
He was a Taekwondo guy, I think.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know how good. I know he won at least some sort of like major tournament, but I don't know how good he was. But I guess That's kind of apropos because he plays Frank Dukes in that movie where
He lies about stuff.
yeah, it's just Frank Dukes just like lied about a bunch of stuff probably.
Uh-huh.
Maybe he had some credentials and maybe he's a big fat liar. He's probably a big fat liar.
Yeah.
Probably a gigantically huge fat liar, but you know, Jean-Claude plays him. So
Yeah, it's such an interesting time, like during the 70s and 80s, where like kung fu masters, karate masters, they just made up bullshit, and people were like, "Oh yeah, he's super dangerous. You never want to mess with him."
Yeah.
Like, why not? Well, he can kill people. Trust me, I've seen him. Have you? Oh, I've just heard it.
I don't know. But yeah, I don't know anything. I was really into Jean-Claude. He's probably like the best kicker ever on set. He's definitely got like kicking legs, man. He's legs. I don't know how good he is at actually fighting people, but fucking shit he can do with his legs is super impressive.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Jesus. But yeah, we had that movie on VHS like probably in the early '90s.
Hmm.
Like I went through and just tore through all the Jean-Claude movies, like fucking Kickboxer and Bloodsport and Hard Target and Double Impact and
Bloodsport's my favorite Jean-Claude Van Damme movie.
yeah, it's the best one.
Yeah.
But there are Lionheart and what's the other one? The Quest.
The Quest.
Yeah.
Huh. That sounds familiar, but I don't really remember what that was.
The Quest is basically what I think Jean-Claude wanted the Kickboxer movie to be, and then they kind of like remade it, and it's kind of like one part Kickboxer, one part Mortal Kombat, kind of. It's got a big gold dragon that's like supposedly the prize.
Huh.
And like somebody's like trying to hijack the dragon. It's got like a lot of like Eastern mysticism gibberish in it.
Mm-hmm.
But no, none of them really hit the mark of Bloodsport. It's like, because it's basically like a song and it's basically like a movie, but instead of like song and dance routines, they have just fights.
Yeah.
It's like all it is. It's a bunch of montages of fights.
Kumite.
Yeah.
Kumite.
Yeah. There's like 3 seconds of dialogue, like, oh, we beat that guy, he's moving on to the next round.
Yeah.
And it's like another fight.
You're next.
And Bolo Young.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
Uh-huh.
He's in like fucking every kung fu movie ever.
It's a good amount, yeah.
I just like pound for pound, it can't be more anybody that's in like more fucking, it was like Danny Trejo being the Mexican guy in every fucking movie before anyone knew who his name was.
Yeah.
He was just that Mexican guy that was in like every fucking movie where you needed a toad-faced fucking Mexican dude.
Or that one dude, he was in Die Hard and like Big Trouble in Little China. The dude with the Fu Manchu and the skullet. That guy. He was in a lot of movies.
Oh, yeah, and he's also in he plays Indo in Lethal Weapon.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, in Lethal Weapon, where Mel Gibson is hung up in the water. And
Oh,
they're
yeah.
hitting him with the battery.
Yeah.
Hit him again, I
Yeah.
know. Like that. That's that guy. Yeah, he's in just like a bunch of stuff.
Uh-huh.
He's like, yeah, he's the Chinese guy.
Yeah.
That fucker. He might not even be Chinese. I don't even know. He just played like a Chinese guy. And like,
It could be Chinese. I
and
don't know.
everything. But yeah, he's in Big Trouble. He's in. Yeah, it was like just like for like 3 years he was in everything, and then it was gone.
Yeah, he's like the Michael B. Jordan
Yeah.
of Kung Fu movies.
The Michael B. Jordan. of Kung Fu.
The beast for basketball. And let's see. So we came up. We're done with season 1 of the show.
Canceled.
Whoa, can't cancel us.
I could cancel us. I am one of 2 people that could cancel us.
I just got a guy named Pee-Pee and this Mikey and the Pee-Pee podcast.
Correct, but then it would not be Mikey and the Press Pass anymore. So us would effectively be canceled. You could have podcasts without me, and I could have podcasts without you.
I have all the keys.
But we couldn't have Mikey and the Press Pass.
That's true.
But anyway, moving on. So yeah, coming up, we're just a year today,
Today, it's a year.
or this podcast is a year podcast.
Yeah. So like, let's like kind of talk it out. Like, we're gonna change the format a little bit, right?
I think so.
We'll still be doing Sopranos, I guess, towards like till we end it. We have to finish it. We have to finish it through.
Gotta finish what you started, bro.
Yeah. More cigars. like more cigar stuff, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I feel like we could talk a little more cigars, especially because I'm kind of getting in a rut where I'm not in the habit of like trying new things as much.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of going to my old standbys. I keep getting new stuff in at Aloni. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna try it. It's probably not that good.
Mm-hmm.
Not that good, really.
Like younger, you'd be like, hey, if you wanted to, bro, and you get a discount. We'll just try the same shit.
Yeah. Well, we got these.
Why try other burgers when the quarter pounder is the best burger?
The quarter pounder's pretty good. But so yeah, I'd like to be able to talk a little bit more about that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You got cigar tip of the day today?
Don't really.
No.
Oh, the easiest way that I found, I've been doing different kinds of methods of seasoning your humidor. The easiest one I've found, rather than, there's like several methods you could do. You could like wet down your humidor, put a sponge in there, let it soak it up. My favorite method so far has been just getting a shot glass, put distilled water, microwave it for a minute, put that fucker in there. It's like, whoosh,
Yeah.
steam up. Get
Yeah, I
some
usually
shot
use like a
protein.
dish. I like more. I still do the rub down.
Mhm.
Rub down. There's something satisfying about like seeing that
Change color.
that cedar change color.
Yeah.
And then you come back like just a little while later, and you're like, oh, it's back to original. Come on, fucking change it again.
Yeah.
It's like those what's that Japanese thing where it's like they paint with just the water and it just like evaporates immediately. It's what it reminds me of.
Huh. I don't know what that is. What is that?
You don't know what I'm talking about? Where it's like they have like these paper, and it's like it looks like a watercolor brush, and then you just like you basically just take water and you just paint and you just do this like design. It's supposed to be like therapeutic, like the rock sand thing.
Oh, the rock garden or whatever. Yeah.
And so you just do it, and then it just like evaporates.
Cool.
So, but yeah, that's what it always reminds me of.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's really effective. Bill taught me that actually.
Oh, really?
Just the steam will open up the pores on the cedar, and like it'll drink it up faster.
Mm-hmm.
Especially-
Another tip, since for the changing of seasons, a lot of like during this time, usually like spring, fall, a lot of people freak out with their humidors. Like, oh, it's not holding the humidity like it was before. It was too high now, or it's doing all this stuff. It's like it's a seasonal thing. Just gotta let it go. When it gets colder, your humidity is gonna drop. It's just physics.
I remember I was talking with somebody about this at Aloni because he came in and he's like, yeah, I noticed that my like humidor is I got this app on my phone, and this thing, and it's like within like a 0.1% humidity, and it's like fluctuating. And I'm like, here's the thing about that, man, is that I've noticed that the more sophisticated of a technology you have to measure in smaller increments, and the more accessible you have, like you don't have to be home to check it. You can check it when you're on your phone or wherever. Like, I've noticed the more people do about that, the more they just fucking get super finicky about the humidity.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just like, yeah, so what do you think? Like, it's not like holding it like this humidity. And I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna ask you a few basic questions. So, okay, humidor season.
Are you stupid?
Yeah. Is your humidor season?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Do the cigars feel heavy? Well, no. Do they look like they have like moisture on them? No. Do they feel really light when you pick them up? Not really. If you like, get there on the band, like hold it about as tight as you would if you were gonna cut the cap off, does it sound like crackly, like it's like crunch crunch?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, no, not really. I'm like, then they're fine.
Yeah.
And he's just like, well, yeah, but I just... I'm like, dude, okay, fine, I get that.
Mm-hmm.
But like, you're trying to get it dead set on it, like being cemented in like one humidity perfectly
Yeah.
all the time. And it's like, the eye test is so much more effective. Like, just, do your cigars feel dry or do they feel wet?
Mm-hmm.
Check them with some degree of frequency. And if that's not the case, then don't fucking sweat the difference of 5% in humidity.
Oh my god.
It's not a big deal. Even 10 or 15%, as long as it's not below 62 and it's not above 82.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's a big fucking range for humidity. And chances are that it's going to stay in that range if you have some sort of humidification in there. And it's like, I noticed that. It's like, people just get super finicky about it. It's like, they're trying to keep it like just perfectly. It's like...
Or they go into the shop humidor. Oh my god, these are like so dry. I'm like, no, they've been there for a long time. So, firmer.
I got a fresh cigar guy on the phone the other day.
Yeah, I want a real fresh one.
So you guys have any fresh cigars? And I'm like, and I didn't. I would like immediately.
I don't know what that means.
I tried to immediately recall the conversation
Uh-huh.
that we had to try to like draw on what the fuck he was getting at.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, when you say fresh, do you mean like recently come in, like new shipments?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, just fresh. And I was like, well, all of our cigars are like properly humidified.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can't comment on like the date that each one of them come in. We have rollover, and like some of them are older than others. And I'm like,
Nah, man. I mean, fresh.
yeah. And I was like, sir, why don't you just tell me what your concern is? What are you worried about? He's like, well, I just want to make sure that the cigars are fresh. And I'm like, you mean as in recently come in? And he's like, yes. And I'm like, okay, yeah, we have some that have recently come in, but generally speaking, if we just get something in, we sit on it for a few days so that it's not ship sick.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, well, if it's ship sick, then it won't smoke good. And so, plenty of the cigars have been in here a while, and I'm sure they're smoking great. He's like, but they're not fresh. And I'm like, well, that's not an issue, because cigars typically get better the longer that they're in the humidor. And he's just like, but you do have fresh cigars. I'm like, yes, yes, we do. I just like, I didn't know.
When he comes in, is like, are these all fresh? Yes, they are all fresh. I made sure.
Is that
I
what you...
plucked it from the plant itself. The cigar plant we have out in back, I plucked it fresh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or you tell him, like, yeah, these are about 4 years old. It's like, oh, I don't want anything that old. That don't go bad, right?
This 12-year-old scotch? Good.
You got that fresh stuff? Straight from the barrel?
Just straight from the barrel. It's only been in there a couple days.
Yeah.
White
lightning.
Yeah. It's got that burn. But yeah. So yeah, I got that call. It was like, man, I don't... But yeah, that's a good tip. Like, don't fret the fucking fluctuation in your humidity. Just like... Because people are like, well, what do you, like, use? I'm like, I don't use anything. I use my sensory apparatus. I, like, feel it for weight. I look at it, see if it's cracked or got moisture on it, and I listen to it. And if those sensors do not detect problem with humidity, I don't give a fuck what the meter reads. I just don't care. Because the likelihood that those things are not
Well, if you're
operating...
using a system like Bovita packs, you're pretty much dead set. You're like, all right, I'm gonna have to fuck around with this thing.
Right, I get it. I mean, I get that maybe it's possible that your humidor wouldn't be holding humidity properly, though.
That's very possible.
It's a problem people have when they have glass top humidors. Don't have glass top humidors.
Yeah, but I just want to look at it.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Like, just it's too much of a headache. Don't ever fucking buy glass top humidors. That's like the number. I was like, I told Bill, I was like, when we were at the show last year, I was like, oh, should we get some glass tops? I was like, no, do not get glass tops. Those are the fucking worst.
Well, because you kind of undermine your own... You want to sell them if people want them, but at the same time...
You don't want them to come back like, just not holding humidity.
Well, and you just have to hope that no one ever asks your opinion, because then you're in the position to either have to lie to them, like... Because that's what I tell people. I'm like, don't buy a glass top one.
I tell people all the time.
Then don't do it.
Yeah.
And then the glass top ones just sit on the fucking shelf, because no one will buy them, because we're always warning people to just say hold humidity like shit.
Yeah.
It's like... I just bought my old lady electric kettle as like part of her anniversary present. And so, and I was looking at them and I was like, well, a lot of these kettles that are like more expensive than the one I got, they're like this whole like they have ceramic bottom and it's like clear, like a LED in it or something.
Mm-hmm.
So you can like see the water. And I was like, why do you fucking care if you can see the water in the kettle?
I don't know.
Like, all the way through. I mean, like, because all the kettles have, like, a little thing on the side, like your lighter does.
Yeah.
Where you can see what level the water is at.
Mm-hmm.
This is, like, you just want to be able to see all the water at once. And I was like, why are these more expensive? This one's all metal.
Yeah.
This one's all metal.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is, like, a little metal top and then, like, not ceramic. What's the word I'm looking for?
Acrylic?
Acrylic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was like, why? That's, like, not as good as all metal.
It could be one of those people, like, they're persnickety about, like, their kitchen looking, all the hardware that they have looks kind of similar. It's like, ooh, it looks cute. It's like a fucking Apple commercial or something like that.
I mean, I guess that's good for me because the one I got was less expensive than those, and I happen to like the clean brushed metal. I think looks nice in a kitchen.
Oh, here's the thing too. Like doing research on a watch, got a new watch, and
Was it that one?
yeah, it's
Let me see
I
it.
got Seiko 5.
Show it off.
Yeah,
Show it
yeah,
off.
yeah.
What's it?
First mechanical watch. So it's like, people said it's a good entry level one. And a lot of reviews for this watch is like, well, it's actually not a dive watch, it's a dive style watch. So I knock at these many points like, I'm never going to dive. So why would I want to pay $100 more for a watch?
This says it's like hammer resistant, but I smashed it with a hammer 8 times and it broke.
Yeah.
So, fuck that watch.
Yeah. I'm like, why'd I care? I would never.
Yeah, what is with that and the whole, like, it can go on? Who the fuck is, like, diving and, like, these, what time is it? Like, who does that?
Well, that's like back in the day when divers actually had to have the chapter ring, and they're doing it for time for their scuba tanks and all that stuff. And Rolex was like famous for making like the Submariner because it can go under like 300 meters and has like all these bells and whistles. I'm like, I'm never gonna go diving, so why would I need that? Well, like, can I go swimming in it if I accidentally like fall into a pool? Was it that waterproof? Yes? Okay, I'll buy that fucking watch. I don't care.
Yeah, in general, though, I feel like if I spend a lot of...
Yeah, I can go up to Mount Everest with this thing. I was like, I'm never going to Mount Everest.
And if I do, the last thing on my mind will be what my watch is doing.
Yeah.
Like, I feel that way if I had a watch that was, like, I'd spent a lot of money on.
Mm-hmm.
And they even said, like, you can go in the water all day with this.
Yeah.
And it just will not break.
Mm-hmm.
I still would just be like, you know what? No, because if just nope. I'm just gonna take it off. Like, why do I need it on my watch while I'm in the pool, like, or in the ocean, or whatever? Like, why is this so important?
I don't know.
They don't market shoes this way, like shoes you can go. Like, don't you want to wear your shoes when you're swimming? Like, why?
Oh, now they are. They're starting to market that.
But not like the shoes that you would just wear every day, right?
No.
They're shoes for swimming.
No. They have these like I think it's Allbirds. I forgot what shoe company does. It's like you can go run in puddles. You could do like super cool sports shit. I'm like, I'm never doing that. So
Yeah.
why would I care?
Yeah, it just seems weird to me that you're just trying to like.
Or you get like the super fat obese dude is like, check out my Apple Watch. You can check my VO2 max when I want it to. It's like, what?
Does it check your heart rate? Because I bet you it's through the roof.
Yeah, it has all these things in there.
Your
Like,
resting heart rate's like 200 right now.
Yeah, all the bells and whistles with this, like, to have that added cost, like, I understand, like, it's a dive styled watch. It's like, but I don't care.
I want to design something that has literal bells and whistles on it, so that I can say it comes with all the bells and whistles, and people will be like, "Oh, you weren't kidding! It's like got bells and whistles on it."
You think it came from like automotive stuff? It has all the bells and whistles, like
I
like a
would guess.
carriage or something
Yeah, I
like
would
that.
guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually I should look that up for a future Did You Know segment.
Uh-huh.
Find out where the etymology of that word,
Mhm.
entomology of that word, or phrase, axiom, maxim.
It's not a maxim. I guess it's the phrase.
Yeah, what do you call that though? Not a turn of phrase, but adage. That's the word I'm looking for.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know where it came from. But yeah, it is. But I want to make something that has literal bells and whistles on it.
The humidor has all the bells and whistles.
Yeah, it
Just have a bell and a whistle. It's like has all the bells and
yeah.
whistles.
It had to be two of each though to be bells and whistles.
Yeah. That'd be funny.
Just like just one of those old like whistles like that. It's like and you're like it's like super annoying. Like every time you open, it's like ding ding ding.
God
Like
damn it.
It's like a door in a shop.
Uh-huh.
It's like, yeah, well, I don't know why, but people like things with bells, just play dumb. Like,
Who
just
knew?
like people are always saying they wish everything had the bells and whistles, and I have designed
Uh-huh.
a humidor that does have all of the bells and whistles, more than any other humidor in the market.
I'm trying to think of other stuff. Yeah, it's like it's not this, so it's not that good. I don't know. Cuban cigars is a really good example. It's like, does it taste like the Cuban, or is it like you have to have Cubans? Those are the best, aren't they? I'm like, no. It's just
Nah.
hard to get for you guys.
Yeah.
For normies.
Yeah, like some people will come in
Like the
from,
cashier.
overseas. They'll be like, "Oh, do you guys have any Cubans?" And you'll be like, "Oh no, we can't sell Cubans." They're like, "Oh right, yeah, you guys can sell them." I forgot. And like that's it. It's not like, "Oh man, what? Come on, look at the best." It's like, "Oh, did you have any?" It's like, I always think it's weird people ask for Honduran cigars. Do you have any Honduran cigars? Like, oh no,
Stuff on the bottom.
we have
Yeah.
3.
Uh-huh.
Go away. Why do you care? I can't even think of like I was trying to think of like Camacho, Rocky Patel,
Mhm.
Aladino's like a new player in that space,
Yeah.
for lack of a better word.
Gran Habano.
Oh, Gran Habano, yep.
Mhm.
And like, what's another major company that does that? I can't think of.
Probably like Altadis or General. Most of their stuff is from Honduras, I think.
Altadis in general, both Dominican, almost all their stuff is from
Really?
Dominican. Yeah.
Huh.
I think punches are rolled in Honduras, but I think they're Dominican.
Alec Bradley.
Is Alec Bradley?
Some of the stuff has like majority of it's like Honduran.
Oh, that's why I don't like it.
I'm actually surprised that I liked it. Like some of their cigars, like, oh, not bad. It just doesn't have that dirt taste to it.
I like some of their stuff.
Yeah.
But as a general rule, like people, it's like one of those companies that people are like really into, and I'm like,
Gurkha.
Gurk.
Fucking trash company. There's been an influx of Gurkha fans that have been coming in. It's like, why the fuck? Like, they get hyped. It's like, oh my god, you got the Ghost? Oh. Cell Reserve? Oh.
That's a good cigar, actually.
I'm not paying the price for that.
Good.
And I'm actually surprised, like, we've been getting an influx of, like, Cohiba stuff. And I'm like, $18 for Busto? And you, like, look at the cigars, like, it's all beat up. And, like, who fucking rolled this?
Yeah, the red dots are like $23
I don't understand.
for a fucking, or $26 for
Yeah.
a Robusto. It's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Charge, like, $120 for a Spectre.
You guys sell those?
I think we sold all of them.
Where?
Yeah.
I almost sold all of them one day.
Oh, really?
One of the last days I was working here, I think.
Mhm.
A guy came in and he was like, "Oh yeah, how much for the whole box?" And I told him, I was like, "There's one missing out of the box." He's a Chinese guy,
Uh-huh.
so I assumed he wanted the whole box,
Yeah.
intact,
Yeah.
right, brand new.
Uh-huh.
And he was like, "Oh yeah, I'll take all." Like brought the box up, and I was like, "This is gonna be like a fucking what, $1,200 sale?"
Yeah.
Like, or
How many comes in a box?
10.
Okay,
There
yeah,
were only
1,200.
9.
Yeah.
So it was gonna be like a $1,000 sale,
So fucking dumb.
and then he like realized that there wasn't one in there.
Ah.
He was like, "Oh, there's one missing." And I was like, because I was even gonna give him the 10% off. I'm like, I'll give you the 10% off anyway, even though there's not 10.
Yeah.
It's like, "Oh, there's not 10." Yeah, I don't want it. I gotta have like all of the thing.
I can't impress my friends if I only have one missing.
Yeah. It's like, fuck. Shouldn't have said anything.
Uh-huh.
Should be like, no refunds.
Ah.
Some guy did that. He came in and he like tried to wanted a refund on like a whole box of cigars. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like,
I knew you were getting, right?
trying to remember what it was. It was like,
Like, you never smoked it before, or you got the wrong one, or...
I don't remember. It was like, what the fuck was it? It was something really like weird. Like he thought it was a different cigar or something. It's like, I don't remember, but yeah, I just ended up having to refund the order because he didn't open it.
Hmm.
He didn't take it out of the cello.
Oh, okay.
And so I was like, all right. He didn't take it out of the cello. He just sold it to him earlier that day. He came back and wanted to return it. And I was like, yeah, right. As a general rule, I don't do this.
Yeah.
But he bought some other box, like, to kind of supplement it.
Okay.
Like, he wanted to return that one and instead wanted to buy another one that wasn't quite as expensive, but it was, like, in the same ballpark. It was a difference between, like, $320 and, like, $260 or something.
Okay.
And so I could have just been like, yeah, screw off, like, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, maybe he would have come back or whatever, so it was, like, not that big of a difference. But, yeah, I can't remember what it was. It was, like, yeah, like, and the thing is that whatever it was, I explained it to him from the get. Like, that it was a Romeo and Juliet. I remember that. And I was like, explained to him that there was like a. So the big problem I have is because you know that there's like a Romeo and Juliet Reserva Real, right? You know, the flagship Romeo and Juliet, and then there's a Romeo and Juliet 1875.
Yeah.
But the problem is that the Reserva Real bands say 1875 on them. So people will come in and they will call that the Romeo and Juliet 1875, when in fact the 1875 is a different blend. And so I think maybe it was something like that. Like there was the confusion where he wanted the 1875s, and I was like, well, these are the Reserve Reals. So is this what you're talking about? I was like, it was just the Romeo and Juliet 1875. I'm like, there's a blend called the 1875, and these are the Reserve Reals, which are the flagship Romeos. It's like mostly what people want when they want Romeo and Juliets, and they just call them the 1875s because it's on the band. It's easily identifiable because normally cigars aren't just called Romeo and Juliets. You know, you don't just go in and say, I want a Cohiba, right? Because there's tons of Cohibas, and most cigar smokers know that.
One Robusto, please.
Yes, one Robusto, right? Yeah, so if someone knows enough to know to ask for a certain brand, they don't assume that the like brand and blend are the same thing. Like that the brand is just the name of the blend, right? Even like Tatuaje will like delineate like the Tatuaje brown label, right? They don't specifically call it the brown label on any of the branding, but that's just colloquially what it's known. Or the My Father, the flagship brand. And so we had this whole discussion. And then I think he just like went and he's like, I don't think these are the ones I want. Fuck, I just had this discussion with you like 10 minutes ago. And you think that you could have like, it's like you just thought about it for like 10 minutes.
Hey!
Wait a minute. Turns out I don't know what I'm talking about. Wasn't actually listening to any of the words you said.
I was waiting for you to stop talking so I could...
What about this one?
Well,
what's up with this?
Yeah.
What Vitola is this? How does it smoke?
What's the price?
What's the price? Have you had it before? Do you like it? Why do you like it? You don't like it? I'm going to get this instead.
I had one guy come in, and he's notorious for asking questions. I'm fine with people asking questions. But this guy's like, I'm in the middle of ringing somebody up, and he's like, oh, he's like trying to flag me down. It's like, oh, can you help me after you're done? I was like, yeah, sure. Just let me ring him up. Came over, and he's like looking at a cigar. I was like, yeah, there's no price. Do you have to like bring this up to check the price? Like, yeah, I could do that for you. Okay. I'm gonna get this instead, so yeah, see ya. It's like, what the fuck? He was in the humidor for like 5 minutes. And this is what you call me over for?
Yeah. Just, if you gotta scan it, then I don't want to go.
Hey, can you come in the humidor? I need your help. So what's your favorite color?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't like that color. I like black.
It's like
Just walk away.
some people, like, it's amazing to me how long like some people, like, wait for your attention to just really seemingly not even want to engage with you. It's like, oh, you just needed attention. You didn't need anything in particular.
No.
You just needed attention. Oh, I don't know.
Well, I didn't want to bother you. It was like, it's my job to answer questions. So
Yeah.
say it.
Say it.
Basically, you just wasted my time coming over here.
Yeah. Yep. No, I know how that goes.
My lighter's not working. I'll just press it down. I can use it. I don't know.
You know what I really... There are some people who will be like, hey, can you fill my lighter up for me? They're like, oh, actually, the cigar tool and the butane is just right over there in the drawer. You could fill it up yourself. Help yourself. Well, I just, like, I don't know how to do it. Like, I literally got this. I don't know how to do it. I just prefer, like, or like, I'll say something vague. Like,
I like when you do it.
I'm worried I'm going to mess something up or something. Like, how the fuck can you mess up just going... Right? But my favorite is when someone will
It's
be
like brain surgery.
be like, my lighter is broke. Can you, like, figure out, like, what's wrong with it? And I'm like, sure, right? Mostly it's one of 4 problems.
Yeah.
And they'll just be like... And then every now and again someone will ask, like...
Oh my god, this guy's a genius!
No, they'll just ask, like, what did you do? And I'll just be like, I just turned it up. And they'll just be like... And then, like, the people that have a magnanimous bone in their body will be like, oh, I guess I'm kind of an idiot. I just, like, won't say anything. It's like, Yeah. Generally speaking, it's like, did you bleed it? Is it full? Did you try turning it up?
Yeah.
Did
Did you wait after you light your cigar? I mean, did you wait after filling it up?
Yeah, and every once in a while, like the two more esoteric problems would be like get the compressed air and like hit it because there's like ash and stuff in there.
Yeah.
And then the really like the one that sometimes that little sparker thing like goes off course and you just gotta kind of bend it back down into spot. Like I get that one, but it's just like I just turned it up. I filled it. It's just not taking fluid. Did you bleed it? Oh, what is that? How do you own a cigar lighter? You don't know these things. Like, it's just...
Well, some people can't even change their oil in their car.
I don't know that I could. I feel like I could figure it out, but I don't know if I've ever had to do it.
I think you should, like, kind of know how to do it, especially your specific car.
No, I do kind of know how to do it.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. But, like, I don't know how to do it. Oh, my God.
I don't think it...
Like, you just throw your hands up in the air. Oh, it's not going to happen. like those people.
The thing is, though, is changing the oils, like, I've never had to do it because I just pay people to do it.
Yeah.
And it's far more complicated than just, like, figuring out, like if my car broke down in the middle of nowhere because I just didn't have oil, and I had oil in my car, like, you can bet that I would be like, okay, like, I'm just going to see if I can do it. I have a rough idea.
Yeah.
Oil out of there, you check it with a little fucking dipstick thing, and you go, okay, so here, all right, so I got to get this thing, and I get the oil out of there, and I put the oil back in here, and make sure, like, okay, put the thing on there so the oil doesn't shoot up all over. Like, I have a vague idea of how it all works, but, like, out of necessity, I would at least try.
Yeah.
Right? This is more like...
Well, that's the reason why it's broken.
This is
there's
more
a
like...
bunch of dirt inside the engine.
This is more like my car won't start. Did you turn the ignition over? No. Does the car have gas in it?
What?
Is the car in drive when you try to drive the car?
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's what this is like. The fucking lighter thing.
How did you get here?
Yeah. How do you operate a belt to put on your pants every morning, right? Like,
or the one where like guys call me and is like, how do you get there? Like, how'd you get this number?
Internet.
We go use the internet, dummy. It's like
there's no way to not sound like you're being condescending when you tell somebody that.
Yeah.
They're just like, did you look us up on the internet? They'd be like,
no.
Yeah. I've had this conversation.
Oh, really?
How do I get there? And I'm like, well, we're at 1650 Almaden Road. Okay, yeah, but how do I get there? Well, sir, I don't know where you are, so
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to say. Well, from 880 or 280.
Yeah.
What direction are you heading? What exit are you getting
I don't know,
off
man.
at?
You tell me.
Like, just tell me how to get there.
Yeah.
Well, tell you what. Why don't we do it this way? Did you look us up on the internet?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so like when you called us with the number, right? There was this little icon that said like call, and you pushed that button to call the business, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay, so next to that button on your browser, if it's still open, there'll be one that says directions.
Yeah.
And you push that one, and it'll just pull up the address in your GPS, and they will just act like you're just no matter how politely you say it, it's just like you're
think I'm
like
a fucking idiot.
kind of. Yep. Because you would think it would just be self-evident.
Yeah.
Or you try to be as polite as possible. Like, did you push call?
I'm not from here, so just give me the directions.
Was it like you had a laptop out and you like Googled it and you're like, all right, here's the number 408.
Yeah.
408. Dial that.
Yeah.
This is like totally oblivious to all. Or you had a phone book.
Yeah.
Maybe they had a phone book.
Phone book.
How do I get there? You get in your car and you drive to the destination.
So do I have to print out my MapQuest, or can you tell me right now?
Does MapQuest still exist?
I don't know. That's a very good question.
Yeah, look it up. Find out. I want to see. You just
MapQuest.
you just bring it up and it's just like, Google Maps is a thing now, right? It's like all it says.
Jerry, you just typed in, please take me to my Google or my Yahoo Mail.
Yeah. You just typed into Google, please take me to my Yahoo Mail.
It's still up. What? Uh-oh. Sure, use my location. Yeah, it looks all booty. It looks bad. Anyway,
Can you?
I want to just use Ask Jeeves. See
Oh,
if it's
yeah?
still or web crawl. What was it? Web crawler or whatever the fuck it was.
I don't think. Yeah, Ask Jeeves is.
Or it's ask.com now, or it was.
It's like
Ask Jeeves about recipes. Hey Jeeves.
Yeah, I always wondered what that was. This is how my brain works because, like, I remember when that was a thing.
For Ask Jeeves.
Yeah, and I remember being like, "What's the purpose of that?" Because in my brain, I guess I just already anticipated that Google was a thing. Like, Google didn't exist yet. That's why
No.
they needed Ask Jeeves.
Yeah.
Right? And in my brain, I was just like, why wouldn't you just type the question you're asking into the search bar and it'll just bring up the results?
I think that's how you're supposed to use it, but they frame it in a way like ask him a question. It's like, no, you don't. Just put the keywords in.
No, I know that, but like you had to go visit Ask Jeeves, right? And then like
Had the waiter with the
right, and I just thought like when you just go on internet, you just put in whatever you want. Like I didn't realize how sophisticated that was for the time. Like in my brain, that's just like how.
Why not to ask him?
Yeah, I was just like, that's just how the internet works. You just put the thing in that you want, and the results come up.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't until years later someone was like, no, that was like before Google. Google does that.
Yeah.
And in my brain at the time, I basically just thought Google already existed.
Okay.
Because I never used the internet because I was like a poor white trash kid, so I didn't really know that you had to like manually type in the fucking website you were trying to visit specifically. I just thought you could just like yell at the computer and it would just tell you the things you wanted to know. It's just like why? It's because I had no concept of how technology works. I still don't.
Yeah.
And so it's like, so I just like thought it's just
Hello?
fucking, it's just black magic,
Yeah.
right? Just magic
Yeah.
thing that it just fucking, why wouldn't it do exactly what I want it to do?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Think.
Think.
I'm thinking.
What do you think about?
I don't know.
What are you thinking about?
Oh, I was just thinking. So yeah, back to the podcast.
Yeah.
Some more cigar talk, and hopefully we'll ask the more questions to the audience, and hopefully you fuckers actually reply back instead of just yelling into the ether.
Yeah, no, yeah. Well, write us, tell us what you want us to talk about.
Anything.
Here's a thing that I saw on the news that I hate or want Press Pass to rail. That's really what it'll be. It'll be like, man, I know this will fucking set Press Pass off, so I'm going to send it to him so that he can get mad on the podcast about it. Because apparently that's good times for all. Me getting mad about things.
Tell me about the SR-21 Blackbird. Well, here's the thing. I was actually asking Maya Angelou this.
Yeah, I was actually asking Maya Angelou. Yeah. It's so fucking... It's like Tom Clancy, right?
Tom Clancy.
Yeah. Creeps slowly as night descends upon... It's all poetic about it and shit. That's I want to say that's like the same episode. They go to they're at like a comic book convention, right? And I think I think because there's the one where it's like Homer becomes. Sorry, time to nerd out about Simpsons. There's the one where Homer becomes Poochie, and there's the Itchy and and they go to this con or this like fan question and answer thing, and. Like, he's like, yes, I have a question for Poochie. Is there a way to get out of the wizard's castle without having to use the goblin's key? And he's like, what the hell are you talking about? He's like, I don't know how to deal with these super hardcore fans, Homer. It's like, yeah, I have a question for Poochie, or just the staff of the cartoon in general. So, in episode 1124, there is a scene where Itchy pulls out Scratchy's rib cage and plays it like a xylophone, and he hits the same rib in successive strikes with the bone, and it clearly makes two separate notes. What I want to know is who was in charge of that. I mean, I really hope that somebody lost their job over that. Homer's like, I have a question for you. Why does a man whose shirt says genius at work spend all of his time watching a children's television show? And he's just like, And I withdraw my question.
Yeah, I do remember that part. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the same episode because they're at some sort of like convention or whatever, and like there's all these like Q&A, and like Lisa asks a question of you know who Amy Tan is.
Uh-oh.
Amy Tan wrote the Joy Luck Club,
Okay.
and Lisa's like, yes, I have a question. I'm a big fan of you, Miss Tan, and I really appreciated how you captured the mother-daughter dynamic in the Joy Luck Club, and I was just wondering. She's like, whoa, that is not what the book is about at all. Like, just can you please just stop? I'm embarrassed for both of us, right? Like, Lisa's like 8, and she just like sits down and like is all sad. It's not what it's about at all. It would just be awesome if that's the way like writers or whoever were with their fans. Just like totally. I guess that's the way Shatner is, right?
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he doesn't take any shit from like I don't fucking.
Because he's just like, yeah, you're all just a bunch of fucking nerds.
Yeah.
Just shut up.
Yeah, there was like a famous like SNL skit with that. I forgot. It's like actually when you punch in the code it was 5678, but in the previous episode it was 2543.
Yeah. It's just like, shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was something like that where somebody, Adam was talking about that today because he's watching Gilmore Girls, and he's always like going.
He has such weird taste.
Yeah, he's fucking weird sometimes, dude. But he was talking about Gilmore Girls, and he's like talking about how like one of the characters in Gilmore Girls goes to Yale, and
Actually, that's not what the campus looks like. Oh, really? Okay.
yeah,
Actually, the mess hall does not look like
exactly. It's like it's very obvious that it's like a set, and I was like, here's the thing, man, is I don't think the key core demographic of Gilmore Girls are like Yale goers.
that. Yeah.
Right? It's just like it's for like poor white trash people. We're like lower middle class kids, and like that's what they think a fancy school is.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a character supposed to go to a fancy school. They could just made one up, but like everybody knows what Yale is. And so he's just like, yeah, it's like one part, like her granddad says that he went to this college, and that's my college. That's where I went to college. And so like I was like, yeah. And then later they're at this other thing, and he says he went to this other college, and it was like that's not the told you this. I'm like, dude, that's just an inconsistency in the show.
Yeah.
Because they don't care.
Yeah.
Because it's all just whatever stuff that isn't anything to do. And I was like, and here's the thing, man, is like I know you've watched like medical drama shows, and like you have a fucking MD. And these are the things you choose to rail about. Like, you're not going on about the inconsistencies in, like, medical dramas.
Yeah.
Which I am sure are legion. He's like, yeah, there's a whole bunch of them. And I'm like, yeah, but you don't really go on about those all the time. Right? Like, it's really weird.
Does he watch, like, medical dramas?
I'm sure he's seen them. Right? And he's like, yeah, he's like, some of them are pretty bad. He's like, actually, you know, the one that's, like, pretty good. Like, House is pretty good about, like, the medical stuff.
Oh,
the
really?
medicine of the show. Like, obviously all the hijinks that he gets into are totally like off the charts, like ridiculous, but the medicine apparently is pretty on point because they have a pretty serious medical consultant for that show. And I was talking with Doc Jim, who used to come in here all the time, and I used to like ER a lot, and ER takes place at Cook County General in downtown Chicago, so it's like the main public hospital for like inner city Chicago. So like they're the level 1 trauma center there. So they get like all the gunshot wounds, the stabbing victims, the car accidents, like all that shit. So it's a very high traffic hospital. And I used to really be a big fan of that show. And I was talking with Jim because he used to work there at Cook County General. And I was like, oh yeah, Cook County General. Like, I know where he's like, yeah. He said, you know, actually it's a shows, at least the first few seasons are pretty accurate about like what it's like to work in a hospital. Huh. And one of the better things about the show is that, I mean, obviously the interior of the hospital is not the actual hospital. Yeah. But yeah, they encapsulate it pretty well. You know, they dramatize some things, but yeah, it's pretty accurate, like what the daily grind of working in a hospital is like. And he's like, that's one of the better things about that show is unlike House or all these other shows that are like highly specialized divisions of like whatever, is ER really is just the daily life of like ER docs and ER surgeons in the hospital and all the crap that comes through there and how it just kind of wears on you and, you know, the human condition of it all. It's part of the reason the show is so good, at least in its early seasons. It's like a really good show. It's a really underrated show. It's on my underrated segment this week. ER is an underrated show. More people should watch it. I don't know why. Like it was popular when it was on the air, It doesn't seem to have much of a legacy. I think because it went on for too long.
Is it the one where the guy gets hit by a helicopter?
It jumps the shark and it ruined its fucking legacy. But the first 10 seasons of that show.
Told me about that. I was like, no fucking way.
Oh no. For the listeners though, what makes it worse? Okay, so what happens is before the show is bad, there's this episode that's like the season finale of like the 7th or 8th season or something, like when the show is still pretty good. And what happens in the show is there's this guy, and the episode's called Rampage, and there's this guy, and he's just like going on a shooting rampage. And so they're dealing with all of the people that come into the hospital that are like victims of this guy shooting just tons and tons of people, and not to mention the people that are like running scared that get hit by cars, or like the people that are trying to get away in cars and get car crashes and shit like that. And so that's going on, and then like this giant power outage also happens. So the hospital's jam-packed with people that have been like shot, stabbed, and like mauled and wounded, and then the power in the hospital goes out. And so they're trying to airlift, because it's a level 1 trauma center, so they have a helipad on the roof. And so they're taking someone up to the roof, and there's the like chief of surgery, Dr. Romano. He's escorting someone up on a gurney.
Hey, why is everybody like yelling?
And so they're up on the roof, and they're taking this person to the helicopter, and he drops his clipboard. And he goes down to pick it up, and when he bends down, he like just stands straight up, and the helicopter blade chops his fucking arm off, right? And it's like, so this is before the show gets super ridiculous, right? Because this is like at that moment, when a show is more or less like the daily drama of people, and then some shit like that happens, it's like, whoa, holy fuck, right? Yeah. Like it's like a big like holy shit moment, like they did something super duper dramatic. It's not like Game of Thrones where someone dies every other week or whatever. Yeah. So it's like crazy. It's more like Ned Stark dying in the fucking first season. So it has all this super drama about it, right? And so that's really, really dramatic moment. And then in the next season, they segue into him trying to get his arm reattached, and like, he's got like gangrene setting in because the arm is like, it's his whole arm. And so it's hard to get full functionality, and he's a surgeon, and no one really likes him, but he's a surgeon, and like all that matters in his life is like being a surgeon. He's really, really good at being a surgeon. He doesn't have much interpersonal life or anything independent of that. And so they have this whole character arc where they like flesh out his character and all this like trials and tribulations of him like trying to become a surgeon again, and like he's also an administrator, and they want him to stay on as administrator because he's really good at that too, but it's not where his passion is, and he's like all this like inner conflict about whether to actually like amputate the arm properly, and he'll never be a surgeon again, and all this like character arc stuff with him that really fleshes his character out and makes him like more sympathetic. And then I guess that plot arc ended, and they didn't know what to do with it. So then like he's going out into the ambulance bay one day in the middle of the day, and like in the ambulance bay a helicopter just falls out of the sky and hits him and kills him. And it's like, dude, are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? A helicopter again?
Yeah.
Right? And it just kills him out of the clear blue sky. And it's like, it's just so fucking bad that I think it just ruined all of the legacy of that show, which was like for 10, 11 seasons. It was really like one of the main characters of that show, who's like there from like episode 1. Like he's like the first character you're introduced to, and you follow him very closely for like 10 seasons of a show that's like 23 episodes a piece. I mean, this is like hundreds and hundreds of episodes.
It's like the JD of...
Yeah, exactly. He is. Yeah, probably. But so you follow him all this huge arc, and like his battle with cancer, and then he gets better from the cancer, and then he has like all these ups and downs, and he's like a super sympathetic character. He's like a really good guy, and like everybody loves him. And then he dies, and it's like so much payoff, right? Like there's like, that's how you kill off a character and have it have like a lot of gravity. And then they just kill that guy off in a fucking helicopter. And it's like, what happened to your writers? Like, did they just all just go on vacation for a couple of seasons?
Like, you, Jim, what's your idea?
Helicopter again. Oh, damn.
it's like it had like taste for human blood, and it was like thirsty for more.
Yeah.
And guess what? It was the same helicopter.
The helicopter was sentient because it got a taste for human blood, and it came back for seconds. It's kind of like Jaws, but with a helicopter. It's like, that's just kind of what it felt like, and it was just like, I literally watched the end of that episode. It's the season finale.
You're like, what?
And I was like, I am fucking done with this show now, like forever. And like, I just like haven't even returned to it since. But like, I remember being really into it. And like, I bought like all the seasons. I bought like the first 10 seasons on like DVD because it wasn't streaming anywhere. Because this was like years ago before streaming was really big. And it was like, yeah, it wasn't streaming anywhere. And so I was like, fucking buy this shit. I saw them at, like, it was right around the time when streaming was getting big. So you could go to places that used to sell DVDs and find a season of a show for like $3.
Yeah.
So I bought like the first 5 seasons for like $15 or something, and I was like, all right, I'm into this now. And got really into it. But then I picked up the seasons that I didn't have on DVD. By the time I got through them all, and a couple of years had passed, I'd watched them a few times. Then they're like, oh, it's on Prime now. Like, you can watch.
What is this?
So I bought a couple.
I don't feel like downloading it.
I bought a couple of seasons on Prime or on Amazon or whatever, and they were okay. You could see it kind of starting to go downhill a little bit, but it was still like had enough going on that I was interested. And then that happened, and I was like, that's it for me. Fucking just jump the shark moment, man.
Turn the TV off, just throw your fucking DVD player into the fucking street.
It was so bad. It was just like, fucking, yeah, like, it was so bad they should rename Jumping the Shark, like, the helicopter hits him or whatever. Like, that's how it was more...
That's the most egregious one I've heard.
It was more shark jumpy than the actual Jumping the Shark moment.
Yeah?
Because of the fall, right? Like, it's not like Happy Days was ever, like, a serious, like, show that dealt with, like, real problems of, like, that had a lot of gravity and, you know, the characters were super relatable and fleshed out.
Yeah.
Like, it never had that, right? It was just this fun show, and they just ruined it with that thing.
I don't know about ruined it. It's odd. It's like, why does Fonzie want to jump over sharks? I don't know.
Wasn't he surfing with a leather jacket, too?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Batman, Bat-Tusi. That thing was weird.
Yeah. I remember the shark repellent spray.
Yeah.
That's another, like, shark-related thing. It's like a shark repellent spray.
Sharks were big back then. I don't know.
I just remember being a kid watching that show being like, you know, his utility belt doesn't seem that big. How does he always have what he needs in it?
Yeah.
Because
It's very specific.
Yeah, his utility belt's like, it's like a dress belt, you know, it's just yellow.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are all these little, like, things?
Little pop boxes.
Yeah, like, what are they? Like, I don't understand, like, how things are in the belt. That's what I didn't understand. How are things in the belt?
I don't know.
It didn't physically look like it could contain anything. It looked just like a belt that would hold your pants up that had, like, a little texture to it.
Yeah.
And it was yellow.
But
for some reason, it always had stuff in it. And I never really got that as a kid. I was always very confused. And I was a big fan of the Batman show.
As a kid watching, like, wrestling. Remember Jerry the King Lawler? He would show up once in a while and wrestle. And he would always do this move. He's like about to lose, and he reaches into his underwear. You don't know what it is, and he just fucking hits somebody in the face with it, and he puts it back in his underwear. I'm like, what is that? What is he doing?
Yeah, I don't know.
I never explained. Oh my god, what is he doing?
Is that even legal?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember that guy that well. I remember all the big names, but
Well, he was the guy that messed with who's that fucking comedian? From SNL, the weird guy.
Norm Macdonald.
No, Jim Carrey played him in his biopic.
Andy Kaufman.
There we go. He had like a big thing.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
I knew I recognized his name.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that must have been like the 70s, 80s.
Yeah, but this was like during the 90s when...
he was still around then?
Well, he was an announcer, and he would sometimes pop into shows. Like, he would have wrestling matches with other people, and he does that fucking underwear thing. And as a kid, I didn't get it. It's like, I don't know what he's pulling out. Is he... Not his dick. It can't be it. And he would never, like... Yeah, and he just tucks it back in there. Like, what is going on?
Do you ever find yourself wondering, what did that initial meeting with him and Andy Kaufman look like? Because I feel like that wrestler Lawler.
Yeah,
I feel like he's a pretty cool dude for like. Basically, it's like
playing along. Yeah,
it's basically like, oh, we could just take the whole concept of wrestling
mm-hmm.
into like real life.
Yeah,
And like that would be cool. And I feel like he's pretty cool for being down, but like they are so very different, right? Like, so like what did that meeting look like when he sat him down and like, hey man, like tell me if you're down with this, right? Like I feel like you might be down. And he's like, yeah, I am down.
I am a showman.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that could have been that. I don't know. Yeah, it had to be because it was like the whole like, I'll fucking wrestle any girl and beat her. I'm the best. Look at these muscles.
Mm-hmm.
He just beat up on chicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then yeah, he was like he slapped the shit out of him a couple times in public and stuff, didn't he? Like
Yeah.
wrestling slapped him. And then yeah, I remember watching that documentary they did about him where he's talking about like, yeah, of course it was staged.
Mhm.
Like how do you not think it would be staged, right? Like
Well, people back then really thought they were fighting.
yeah.
It was like, really?
Well, that was kind of still in the era where people didn't know wrestling was fake, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so weird to think about that like there was a time when it wasn't like widely known, and it's been in our lifetime.
Uh-huh.
Because I remember being in high school and middle school and kids still being like, no, it's not fake, it's real.
Yeah.
And you're like, little kid being like, are you serious? Do you think this is like real? Like, it's not real. I mean, fake is not the right word. It's staged,
Yes.
right? It's scripted,
Yes.
right? And I think that was
Yeah,
probably
they're really slamming each other on the ground. They're really hitting each other, but not
right,
like,
but not full force,
Yeah.
not like, but like still like not getting hit like 40% as hard as someone can hit you with a chair. Still fucking hurts. I'm
Yeah.
not positing otherwise, but it's just like I remember being a little kid being like, no, that's not, no, what? Why would you think that?
Uh-huh.
Like it's pretend, right? You don't think that Jean-Claude's really like beating up fucking Bolo Young, do you?
No.
I mean, look at those
Dude,
pics,
really?
bro.
Yeah.
Like, I would assume Bolo Young would kick the shit out of Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah. Who was it? It was the Iron Sheik and somebody else, and they're like mortal enemies on on TV. They got busted for buying coke with each
yeah.
other. It's like, what? They hang out with each other?
Well, they were rivals, though.
Whoa. Yeah.
Yeah, who was that? It was the Iron Sheik. It wasn't Roddy Piper. It was
I don't know. I don't remember. I just know the Iron Sheik.
yeah,
Cheeky baby.
yeah. Cause yeah, that was when it was like that. That's what I think. That I wonder if like PC culture has really hurt wrestling, cause it's all predicated on stereotypes, right? I remember reading an interview with Jesse the Body
Mm-hmm.
years ago when he was talking about that. It's
I
like,
don't know. Why don't you tell me?
I don't know. Why don't you tell me? But yeah, he was.
I was a Navy SEAL.
I was a Navy SEAL. That's he was talking about that. He was talking about like how it's all just predicated on stereotypes, and that's how you like rouse people up, right? And it's all in good fun. And
Mhm.
but I makes me wonder if like PC culture has kind of ruined that a little bit.
Probably for like the bigger shows like WWE. I'm guessing like because I don't watch that shit, so I'm guessing like lower level like local wrestling shows they still do that a little bit. Because I think like the big personality thing was like the big thing now. Like rather than this guy's from Iraq, so just have him as the Sheik.
Yeah,
And Sergeant Slaughter was in the army, and he's like good for USA.
yeah,
And you get The Rock, you get Stone Cold Steve Austin, just big personalities. So like all that shtick of like I'm from this country, fuck you.
yeah. Because
Yeah.
it was like every Russian guy was a commie.
Like,
And yeah.
and like the chants USA, USA, puts him in the sleeper hold. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just yeah, because I noticed that was a lot less of that. It became more, like you said, it became more personas, like
Mhm.
with the Undertaker and,
Yeah.
and the New World Order guys.
Yeah.
Like where they were like, oh, Sting, and he became all goth.
Yeah.
That's like I don't think a lot of people remember that Sting like didn't used to be like a goth dude. Something like supposedly happened to him and he got traumatized.
Yeah,
right, he
yeah.
basically became the Crow. And
Basically,
like,
yeah.
And then but he used to just be like.
Wasn't he
Like-
basically like the Ultimate Warrior, but not crazy.
Yeah, I mean, he had that same mask paint on his face, but it was like green and like green and white, and then he had a high and tight.
Oh, okay.
He had like a high and tight haircut, and he was just like, like the underwear. He was like, hey, and then like something happened to him, and the narrative of the WWE that like changed the storyline like a fucking soap opera, and then that was just like what he was from that point on, and it was like, and then like him and some other dudes were like in the New World Order, right? It was like this new, like not fed. What do they call them? Like I want to say cliques, but that's like for high schools and stuff.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. Yeah, it was like a gang or some shit like that. Like the bad guys.
Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, fuck you, brother. Yeah, they're fucking badass. And it's like, yeah, that was like pre-rock era, right? Like right before that was still going on. That stuff came out. Like,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I just remember that in high school because I lived near a trailer park when I was in high school, so it was like a lot of people.
All the kids had like the NWO shirts.
Yeah, seriously. They were all. I remember. I told you about getting into a fight with a kid, and he tried some wrestling move on me.
It's like,
I?
What are you doing?
Yeah, I was like, what are you doing? That's not like a thing that like you do to people that like is effective. Like
I stunned him. Wah.
Yeah,
That didn't do anything to me.
Yeah, kind of. He was like, he seemed to think that was gonna like be effective in some way.
You saw me standing up. Oh my god!
It's like you fell to the ground too.
Yeah.
Like, it's concrete either way, bro.
Yeah.
It doesn't know that I'm the bad guy and you're the good guy.
Oh.
But yeah.
Or like the Undertaker's persona. He's just like, ooh, he's mysterious. He's undead. And now he's just a biker dude. He doesn't even have that shtick anymore. It's like, well, whatever, man.
Does he still wrestle?
I think he does. Like maybe once a year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of, this is totally non sequitur, but I saw this funny meme today that said, I really love when celebrities support each other, and it had like one of the Kardashian chicks, and she had a Slayer shirt on, and it had one of the guys from Slayer that had a shirt that said "Kill the Kardashians" on it. Yay!
That's funny.
That's what I would expect.
All right, I think that is it for this week. You want to take us out?
No.
No. You did the intro. You got to do the outro now.
All right. Slip back into the DMs next week, or I don't know. We're taking a week off.
Oh, it's up to you.
All right. Well, just
we'll play it by ear.
Tune back in for the next episode of Mikey and the Press Pass when we will start season 2 with a completely different format. So all the stuff you like about this year's podcast is flushed down the toilet.
Yeah, guys don't say shit.
And yeah, what else? That's it. I got nothing else.
Yeah.
That's thanks for sticking around for a year. If you stuck around for, you know what? Thanks for sticking around for any portion of it, because, well, that's just otherwise it's just us talking into the ether. So that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Write us an email. Tell us what you want to see in the upcoming seasons, or leave a comment on my Instagram, Mikey and the Press Pass, at Mikey and the Press Pass, or on Mikey's, is that Mikey Burr?
Yep.
You can do that. We're also on YouTube now, so
yes.
Get us on
if
YouTube.
you're listening to this, go to our YouTube channel. We need to bump up the numbers.
I don't think it's on the outro. We should have Diana record a new outro for season 2 that has the YouTube on it.
Yeah, but we don't. The reason why we're asking you to subscribe and like our videos on YouTube is that we need at least, I think the requirement's 100 subscribers to get a vanity URL.
No, I get that. But what I'm saying is that we have to tell people in the body of the podcast about the YouTube channel because it's not in the outro.
Yeah.
But we could put it in the outro so we don't have to constantly remind everybody every week. And you go to the YouTube channel and see how fancy we're dressed. We're dressed fancy this week, guys.
We are?
So, yeah. Fancy.
I just like this every day.
Oh, yeah. So watch the video because
I slim it up when I come here.
Yeah, well, that's because you're a hobo. You're a murder hobo.
What?
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Mikey and the Press Pass podcast. Consider subscribing. You can rate and review us on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, and pretty much anywhere where you can listen to podcasts. And you can also write us with any ideas, suggestions, or horrible burning criticism at mikeyandthepresspass@gmail.com. Thank you.